Today we're going to learn how to draw a dragon eye. I have found in previous years of teaching this project that students tend to struggle a lot with this very first step. So I went ahead and did the first step for you on your paper so that we can move on to the cool stuff. We're going to create a curve that has some overhang on this side of the letter U, goes through the letter U and creates some overhang on the left side. You should do this very nice and lightly. I'm making it sketchy, trying to create this curve in one line is going to be very difficult. Notice how it slightly curves down on this side and goes out and slightly up on this one. We're going to go ahead and create this somewhat diagonal diamond inside of our closed off letter U. Start by putting your ruler up and down over your dragon eye. Make sure that you have more space over here on the left side than you do on the right. At first, your ruler is going to go up and down, just for reference. Now that we have our space figured out, turn your ruler at a diagonal like this. So it was up and down. Now change it to a slight diagonal like this. Now that our ruler is going at an angle above this curve, put you a dot. It went above it. Underneath it, down here, put a dot underneath this letter U, and then lightly draw through and connect the dots. You want to make sure that there is pretty much an equal amount of room on this side of your diagonal line and also this side. I can tell that my diagonal line needs to be moved over to the right a little bit. So all I will do is move my ruler over a little bit more and make me a new dot and connect them. Then I can erase out my old. Double check that this line, this diagonal line, went through this top curve and it slightly went through this bottom one, this bottom letter U. Now I'm going to create like a little bit of a cross. I'm going to find the center of this diagonal line and make a small diagonal line. And it's pretty much going to be kind of parallel to this top curve. That's how you know what angle to put on this short line, is check to make sure that it's kind of parallel with this curve up here. Now I'm going to connect the center of this small line to the dot. I'm going to draw through that curve. I then will connect the center to this bottom dot and draw through that curve as well. Same as on the other side. I'll go from the center and connect to this dot up here. And from the center line to this dot down here. Now we can erase the part where they overlapped. We no longer need this part of the diamond up here. We no longer need this part of the diamond down here. We're pretending that they disappeared behind the eyelid. I'm going to erase. This right here is potentially going, not potentially, it is going to be our eyelid. And this down here is the bottom of the eye. I'm gonna go ahead and erase out where it overlapped there. I also can erase out my cross in the center and leave my diamond. There, it's looking nice. We're going to create a curve that somewhat matches the one we already have. Visit the right side of this overhang area and sketch up, out, and away some. I can make that darker so that it shows up on the camera. Then visit this side and sketch over and up. And now you can either go ahead and connect it to this side. I'm going to connect from the right into the left. Play around with it. I'm seeing that I can make the curve a little bit more dramatic to kind of balance it out. There we go. It's time to make a curve that frames and matches the letter U that we already have. In this overhang, skip some space. If you need to turn the paper to use the natural curve of your wrist, then do so. Notice how I'm perfectly following along with the letter U that was already there. Notice how I'm using short, sketchy lines. I'm not even trying to do this in one go. Can make mine a little bit thinner and closer on this left side. Look above the eye. We're revisiting the eyelid. We're going to add another section to our eyelid. You can start off at your left side, this angle right here. Go out and over and curve up, kind of matching this curve here. Then on this side, visit this angle, grow over and up, and then out and away. Now you can either connect them left to right or right to left. It's like we copied this shape and we pasted another right on top of it. This next curve is going to be slightly different than our previous one. It's going to be very close in matching at first, and then it's going to go further away on the right side. Here's what I mean. On this overhang, very close to the edge, go ahead and curve down a little. See how there's a good bit of space that I skipped and that it's very close to the edge of this overhang? I can make it darker so that it shows up on the video. You should do it lighter. On my left side, I'm definitely not going to skip that much space. I'm going to skip the same amount of space as I skipped earlier and draw me down a line here. I'll go ahead and sketch down and around, but when I get to about here, my curve is going to be further away. So I'm following the previous curve at first. I'll go over to this side and sketch down and follow the previous curve except further away. If you need to turn the paper to get the natural curve of your wrist, then do so. Then I have them meet. Even I have to make some adjustments. The goal is that on this new curve, there's a lot of space here, and then the lines get closer and closer together towards the left side.